Currently, Gukesh is absolutely crushing it at the European Club Cup. He's on 3 out of 3 and has now reached an ELO of 2736. This thumbnail is created by Abhyudaya, and he told me that the name of the character in Dragon Ball Z, his name is Goku, which is similar to Gukesh. So we made this. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, but this thumbnail looks beautiful. Uh, this is currently where Gukesh stands. He's on 2736.2, world number 18. Of course, Arjun is just 2 elo points below him. And we're going to look at Gukesh's games from this 3 rounds. And there will be around 9 questions that I want to ask you on his games. So let's look at the first game and the first question to you. Maybe we can look at the entire game. Game number 2 was very instructive, but this one I would just like to pose you with a question here. So this is Gukesh. He's playing with the black pieces. His opponent is Bjorn Thorfinson, and it is black to play. What would you do here? Think Gukesh managed to find the very, very important move in this position. Yes, the right move here is to play the pawn to g5. And the idea is that you want to push forward with g4 and open up the position. Notice that taking this does not really work because of the discovered attack here. So I can go bishop e5, queen is attacked, and then also the rook. So that's not a very good idea. In the game, knight e1 was played, attacking the bishop here. Bishop e5, rook d7, and g4. And Gukesh was just crashing through, and he managed to win this game very convincingly. Queen h3 check, g3, defending the rook so that queen takes e6 doesn't happen, and queen takes h2 is a threat. So fg, rook d2, rook d6. You can't take the rook because of queen h2 mate, and rook g2, rook d1. And here he resigned. Well, anyway, the threat was g takes h2 and bishop g3. But after f4, bishop f4, you can't take because of check, rook g1 and g2 mate. So that was the first win against Thorfinson Bjorn. Let's go to the next game. Round number 2 was against Zoltan Varga, a Hungarian grandmaster. And Gukesh this time had the white pieces. With white, Gukesh is very, very strong. By the way, he's playing for the team Superbet, and the same team we have even Vishy Anand playing. E4, D5 he took. And the reason I'm showing this from the opening is because it's very interesting. Knight E5, C6, Bishop C4, E6. And now I want you to find a good move here for white to play. So you can play in calm ways as well here, but I loved how Gukesh approached this. He played the move g4. Very nice move. And now after bishop e4, because the knight is pinned here, what did Gukesh do in this position? So Gukesh here castled, and this is actually, even now when I see this after so many years of playing chess and being experienced at it, I still find this as something that doesn't come naturally to us, because we are so concerned about our king's safety that we don't want to place it in front of a pawn that is advanced. But Gukesh has no such prejudices. He just castles and he knows that he can play f4, he can push the pawns forward, and he's very, very confident about his position. Another very interesting move that I analyzed here was queen e2. And the point is that if you take, then I can play knight takes f7 with a very huge attack here, because you can't take. Queen takes e6 is a crushing game over. So this was possible. He castled, bishop d5, Gukesh took, pawn takes, bishop d3, knight c6, c3, takes, knight d7, queen e2, queen c7, f4, controlling the center, g6, king goes to h1, h5, and now the most critical moment of the game. White to play, what would you do? It's very important not to take something like this and allow some sort of a blockade on the f5 square. Gukesh actually played this beautiful move f5. I really liked it because after knight e5, there is all these problems here happening. For example, fe6, fe6, the g6 pawn gets weakened up, bishop f4 is incoming. It's very risky. And the same happens to queen takes e5 because after fe6, this is hanging. And if you take fe6, then g6 is hanging. If you take queen e6, I can still take this. And I mean, white is just winning. So, very good move by Zoltan by long castling. Fe, fe, rook f7, pinning the knight. And now bishop c5 was a good move, and black would have been doing okay. But he went hg, and now bishop f4, bishop h6. He keeps the bishop, rook df8, rook f1, takes, rook f8. And now it's your move. What would you play here as white? Next question. Come on, think. Gukesh now finds this very cool move, rook h7, attacking the bishop, which is almost trapped. And after bishop c1, he plays this very nice move, bishop b5, pinning the attacking the pinned piece, rook d8. And now once again, it's your move. What would you play here as white to move? Right, if you were to play bishop h4, that is not correct because of g5. The right move is a double attack with queen c2, attacking the bishop and also the pawn. And after bishop e3, take here, take this. And now a very cute move would have been bishop h4 because then this is mate. But he went rook d7, which was good enough. And here he resigned. e6 is falling if the king moves up. Otherwise, check here, bishop can pop out and it's all over. So a very good game by Gukesh to beat Zoltan. And let's go to the next game here. This one was the third one that was played yesterday against Ahmadzada. And once again, Gukesh played a very nice game. Let's go to a position where we reached here, where Gukesh has a small advantage out of the opening. What would you play here as white to move? So already Gukesh is better because this pawn is slightly weak, but he creates another point of weakness with the move p4. Well done if you spotted it. Very nice move. Knight d7, takes. And then, Gukesh could have at this point taken on c5 and created further weaknesses. Okay, rook takes, queen b5 is just winning for white. Totally very strong position. So you must take with the pawn here. And it's slightly weak. This is weak. This is weak. So too many weaknesses. And Gukesh could have gone for this, but he kept the bishop. And actually, Ahmadzada played really well here. This from this point onwards, first h6, putting his knight here, trying to go to f6, rook c6, queen b5. e5 is hanging, so you can't go knight f6 for now. But king h7, good move. And here Gukesh had to play bishop b2, but he aired with h5. a6, excellent move by black, because if you were to take here knight f6 and the e5 pawn no longer hangs, there's pressure here. So he played the move queen d3, knight f6 came in, and now try to think, Gukesh is in some trouble because his rook is attacked and also the pawn. What would you play here as white? Also, don't forget the threat is queen h3, knight g4 could also happen. I really like Gukesh's next move, king g2, just calmly. Because if you take here, he wants to take back with a check, attacking the queen and the rook. If you play e4, he wants to go queen d4, still keeping the attack. And if queen d7, there's a check here and you can take on c6. So this was correct, but black had a very powerful move here that was missed by Ahmadzada, which was queen e8. And if black found this, Gukesh would have been struggling. This pawn is weak. Also, the threat of taking this is always lurking in the air. After he took here, now Gukesh is better. Bishop b2, good move. Attacking e5, rook c5, bishop e5. And here it was important to, keep the fight going, like queen g6, maybe get your rook back, keep fighting. But he collapsed here. He took, pawn takes, check. And he thought here, by the way, white to play. What would you do? Yes, Ahmedzada thought that Gukesh will take, and this is fine for black. But of course, Gukesh just moved his queen up. Excellent move. And it's resignable position because no one can stop the d pawn from advancing. The knight, whenever it comes back into the game, will be picked up and the d pawn will queen. So this is exactly what happened. d6, queen d7, queen takes d6. If the knight comes, you take it and queen c7. White wins. And so with this, Gukesh moves to 3 out of 3. His team is on 6 out of 6 Superbet. Also, Team Novibor of Vidit and Harikrishna are on 6 out of 6. So is the Typhoon team of Arjun and Nihal, also on 6 out of 6. Magnus's team, Offerspiel, is also on 6 out of 6. So it's really getting exciting with all the top teams coming up with 4 more rounds to go. We will see what happens here. Gukesh for now is playing amazingly well. Maybe he reaches 27, 40 in this tournament. We'll wait and watch. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.